Deoxys-Attack has always been an incredible wallbreaker in the Uber's tier thanks to its insane offensive stats and superb move pool. Deoxys-Attack has always been a solid A tier Pokemon in the Uber's tier and a force to be reckoned with. Nothing really wants to switch into it, as Psychic Resist or Immunities will fall to one of its many coverage options. However, Deoxys-Attack fell off a bit in Gen 7 registering B tier, which is still good but not as good as previous generations. Deoxys-Attack has returned to Pokémon Scarlet and Violet with the Indigo Disk DLC and might just be at its all-time peak since Gen 7 and has seen a lot of usage in Gen 9 Ubers so far, even with its biggest enemy Necrozma Dusk main being back and having a very high usage rate as well. So what makes Deoxys so powerful in Gen 9 Ubers? Deoxys-Attack is a very min-maxed Pokemon. It has insane attacking stats with 180 base in both an insanely high speed tier at base 150. This makes Deoxys-Attack both the strongest Pokemon and by far the fastest Pokemon in the entire Gen 9 Ubers metagame. But it is true that it suffers from very poor defensive stats and will basically die to any hit. That doesn't matter as much when you can outspeed and KO most of the Pokemon in front of you. Deoxys' powerful signature move, Psycho Boost, will destroy everything that does not resist it or doesn't have the bulk to take it. Psychic is a pretty good offensive typing, as it only has 2 resists and 1 immunity. However, Deoxys-Attack has many coverage options to take down its resist, and it can very effectively use mix sets to hit Pokemon on both sides of the defensive spectrum. Low Kick is a great option that hits Dark and Steel types that can otherwise take Psycho Boost for super effective damage. The great thing about Low Kick is that it has no drawbacks and will in most cases be the maximum of 120 base power thanks to the many of the Uber's Pokemon being very heavy. I mean, those obese creatures really ought to lose some weight though. Another powerful coverage option is Shadow Ball. This hits the Psychic types that can otherwise take both Psycho Boost and Low Kick for super effective damage. The most notable target is Necrozma Dusk main, which can very easily take any of Deoxys' coverage options. Now I hear you say, but it already had that back in Gen 7 and you said that Necrozma Dusk main was its biggest problem. And this is true, even with the Life Orb. Deoxys-Attack only deals a maximum of 44% with Shadow Ball to a max special defense Necrozma, and Necrozma can easily one-hit KO it back. However, Deoxys can break through Necrozma Dusk main thanks to Terra Sterilization. Terra Ghost is a very common Terra type on Deoxys for several reasons. First is the stab boost on Shadow Ball, which gives it a strong secondary stab move that is very difficult to switch into. The only sturdy, relevant Ghost switch-ins are Kingambit and Arceus Normal, both of which do not want to take a low kick to the face. Furthermore, Terra Ghost gives Deoxys an immunity to extreme speed users that could otherwise revenge kill it. Extreme speed Arceus Normal and Rayquaza and even opposing Deoxys-Attack are quite common. So Terra Ghost makes it even more difficult to take out. This allows Deoxys to easily 2-hit KO Arceus Normal with Low Kick and Rayquaza with Rock Slide or Ice Beam as another coverage option. Rock Slide can be used over extreme speed to not only hit the aforementioned Rayquaza, but most importantly Ho-Oh. Alternatively, Ice Beam can be used over Shadow Ball to hit the many Dragon and Ground types for super effective damage. Knock Off is another option that can greatly cripple switch-ins like Ho-Oh by knocking off their heavy duty boots, while also dealing super effective damage on Pokemon like Necrozma and Ghost types. It can really mix up its coverage depending on what its team might need, which means the opponent always has to watch out when switching into Deoxys-Attack. Extreme Speed is still a good option as well to revenge kill Scarfers or Settle Sweepers with prior damage. Lastly, Deoxys also gained access to Nasty Plot in Gen 9. This boosts Deoxys' in special attack set even further, turning it into a nuke. While it sounds broken on paper, it is not as good as one might think, as Deoxys really wants to keep up the pressure, no pun intended, and its very poor bulk makes setting up very unsafe. Focus Sash is a common item on this Pokemon to ensure it will live one hit with that poor bulk, allowing it to fire off more powerful attacks, making it even more reliable as a revenge killer. Life Orb is another great option to boost all of those coverage options, and it really does not care about the recall as it's not living any attacks anyway, am I right? Deoxys speed tier is also incredibly important in Gen 9 Ubers. As mentioned earlier, this is the fastest relevant Pokemon in the tier. And this is a big deal, as before Zacian the Crowned was the fastest Pokemon and with pretty much uncontested except for certain choice scarf users being able to outspeed it. Deoxys' speed tier makes it a powerful revenge killer to basically everything, especially with Focus Sash. In Gen 9, Deoxys also does not have to be worried about common Pokemon that were a problem to it. Marshadow was a very common wallbreaker in Gen 7 that could threaten Deoxys with Shadow Sneak, whereas Yveltal could take hits from it quite well. Calyrex Shadow is also banned in Gen 9 Ubers, and this Pokemon would otherwise give Deoxys some tough competition as it is just as fast and very strong as well, especially with the Terrestrialization. It's significantly higher bulk and better ability. The same goes for Mega Mewtwo and Ultra Necrozma, which are not present in Gen 9 and gave Deoxys-Attack some stiff competition as a fast Psychic Wallbreaker back in Gen 7. And with Pursuit gone, it's also much more difficult to trap Deoxys and KO it. Not always good for Deoxys though. Its pure Psychic typing is not very good offensively, as it has no stab boost on most of its moves and it offers no defensive utility at all. For reference, to show how important stab boost is, an Ice Beam from Deoxys-Attack does about as much damage as an Icicle Crash from Weavile. Thanks to its very low bulk, it also struggles to find safe switching opportunities, which are basically impossible without U-turn support or after a teammate has fainted. Its ability pressure also offers nothing for a Pokemon that can't take a hit, effectively meaning it has no ability at all. That being said, its extremely high attack stats and speed, as well as the option to hit most Pokemon with super effective damage, makes up for it. Deoxys-Attack has no true counters and only a few checks, and thanks to that it's able to carve holes against basically every team structure. Let me know your thoughts about Deoxys-Attack in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing if you are new. I also want to give a special thanks to my current members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.